Hello all, Game Methuselah. Apologize for the hat. I've been working around the house and doing some cleaning and putting stuff on eBay, so I'm kind of grubby. I'm going to do a couple things quickly on this video. I'm hoping to make this really short so we can hopefully see that it works. I'm going to bump up the resolution and try to get a higher resolution done. When I first started doing videos, I tried putting them up at high resolution and they would not load. I talked to Matt. He said, well, yeah, I have the same problem because companies want you to download videos. They don't give you a whole lot of upload capabilities. So he said it would take him hours and hours to load a video, and most of the time he would just take it to work. I said, well, I don't work for a computer gaming company, so I don't have that big band upload. So I started just lowering the resolution. And since I watch everything on my phone, it all looked fine to me. This morning I got up and I was looking for something, and I was checking one of my videos on my monitor on my computer, and I went, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm uglier than usual. I said, okay, I can see why people have complained to me about that. So I'm going to try it and see how it works and see how long it takes to load up a short video. Not going to be a normal subject about gaming as much, but what I want to talk about is something that I've been pondering about briefly. Last time Matt and I had breakfast, we talked about funding now that he has a business, and he's got his Kickstarter and it went really well, but now the problems start because, I've run a business and now Matt's running a business, and there's lots of expenses in that. And he was talking a way of funding things. A lot of people have complained to me about my Patreon. I have a Patreon page, but I never advertise it. And I kind of think, well, I don't have that much content. I'm actually working on content more than I have it in hand. Most everything I own is all written and scribbled in paper, and it doesn't translate really good, over the internet or on video. So I'm trying to get it to a point where people can utilize it better. Some of you have seen my stuff. It's kind of crude, but I do get the points across and you get to see the miniatures. And Matt was talking about how he funds things and how he's looking to fund things and how these things go now that it's becoming real business. And he said there's sort of a thing we talked about that has resonated in my mind. It's sort of the concept, and I don't remember exactly how he phrased it, of small money. The idea that obviously a lot of followers giving you just a teeny bit of money can make you a really good business. And that's a model that kind of works for most markets and stuff. The reason I mention this is, as I thought about it and was thinking about maybe doing a video on it, I had someone that I do support on their Patreon page put out a help for keeping the page going and helping him with some projects and stuff. And there's been no question that he's going to stay and keep doing it. But usually when people are asking for help, they actually need help. And I thought I would point out to a lot of you guys who do this. I support a few pages on YouTube, Puffin Forest, the Animated Spellbook, and Michael Mordor at Goblins of Mordor, to mention, just a few. And that's the one I would think that if you guys are interested in this, he would be the one to take. I will put his information at the end of the video. So if I incite you to aid and help, you can get the information there. But what Matt had told me is that there was this guy that he follows that did little videos and been doing them for years. And he only had two levels, $1 or $2. That's how you could donate to him. And he was making a handsome living now because over the years and years of building this and doing really interesting videos, a lot of people started sending him a buck. And I thought about it. I said, well, gee, that's the cost of a Coke on a value menu at McDonald's. And gee, supporting 5 people is basically what I spend for a cappuccino if I go down to my local coffee house. So I keep thinking, if you're out there and you're watching people and they're interesting and you like their video, and like I said, Puffin Forest is interesting, the Animated Spellbook is interesting, and all these people are pitching, trying to make a business go, you might want to consider just giving them $1. Go onto their Patreon and give them $1. It's not a lot out of pocket, not that much. Well, not that much for one person is true. Not that much from 1,000 people make a huge difference. Mike has like 7,000 people who are following him on Twitter. Now, if every one of them gave him $1, I would bet you that he could remodel his house and make sure that his family is well cared for and his cats can go to college. But I'm not expecting that. What I'm just wondering is if you think about it for a moment, just look at the people that you like. And if you really, really like them and you watch them all the time, give them $1. The thing is, the dollar will convince them to what they're doing is not a waste of their time. You know, Matt asked me when I was doing my Patreon, I said, well, Matt, you know, I don't feel like asking for money. And a lot of people have chided me on that. They're like, well, you know, you really need to do this or do that or do something else. And I said, look, I'm here just to spread the word about what I know in gaming. But anyway, I wanted to put it out there. This guy, Michael Mordor, is a painter. That's obviously one of the reasons it resonates with me. He lives in Scotland, which, of course, is Albion, where my setting for the Twilight of Fae takes place. It's really the Fomorians, the bad guys, live, so I think he might be half troll, but I'm not going to bring that up. He's a good quality painter. He paints tabletop level quality. He's not trying to paint Golden Demon, pretty much like I don't try to paint Golden Demon anymore. And I would think our styles are very, very similar, and the difference is not a whole lot. He paints very similar to me, and I would say he's pretty close to the same level as myself and Don, and maybe just a little bit below Steve, but Steve was pretty talented. And he sells them. You know, he puts them out for sale, and if you follow his page, you know, I think I'm at a level that like every 6 months I get a miniature he's going to paint. So I don't really need a miniature, but the idea of getting something from some other artist that he can sign, because you make sure if you get anything, you always want to make sure they sign it, because you always want to have that signature. When I was supporting Matt Colville when he first got into the business, and I was supporting him by getting his book, I wanted to get a hard copy of his book so he could sign it. And I said, you know, I want your book and I want it signed by the great Matt Colville, or maybe someday future to be great Matt Colville. And he said, well, look, if you buy a book, it's like $12 and I see $1. If you buy the Kindle, it's like $4 and I see $3. And I went, okay, that's hard to argue with. You know, if I'm trying to support you, and at that point, you know, I was really just trying to keep him going because he was getting started and I was really excited about what he was doing. It's best to help. I mean, it's best to keep people motivated, even if the money in Matt's case, because he had a job, made no difference. You know, it keeps you motivated and lets you know that you're on the right path. In Michael Mordor's case, I worry. I mean, this man used to be a chef, so he had a real job, and now he's trying to make a living as a professional miniature painter. But anyway, check him out. Again, his name is Michael Mordor. It's Goblins_Mordor on Patreon. His Patreon page is Michael, look it up. Oh, I'm sorry for the vanity here. Put my glasses on. It's patreon.com/Michael_Mordor. I'll go ahead and edit this in, and you guys can take a look at it. And then I'm going to try high res on this. Hope it goes up, so I'll get to see the difference, and then we'll see if it goes. I understand my cable company now has twice the upload bandwidth, so I got my fingers crossed, so maybe I can start doing all of my videos in higher vid. So sorry to take you off track here. I hope you weren't looking for something really exciting in a minute. Anyway, I'm going to do some other videos real soon, so fight me, devils, fight, for I hate peace. Give it some thought, and I'll talk to you soon. Game on.